It's 11 a.m. and we're here to review the vendor agreement for ITD 5304 planning project. And I will turn it over to our grants administrator.
Perfect.
Pauline?
Thank you. So this is the, oh gosh, when was this signed? October, I think it was. We received the funding from the state for $19,500. It was signed on October 1st, and this is intended to do the feasibility planning and future planning for the Silver Express. It's meant to serve several purposes, to see how we are currently, the efficiency of it, plan on what potential growth the county could explore or could experience, and then explore what that route could look like to make sure that we're accommodating that and staying ahead of this game to keep public transportation in Shoshone County. So the grant was for that $19,500. There is a match on it. There's a 20% local match, so that's $3,900, and that was accounted for in the CARES side of things. So we already have that taken care of without coming out of county funding. So in the process, we did reach out to multiple vendors to give us proposals for doing a bus assessment. We had 2 different vendors reply of those that were sent out, and the METS group was the lowest bid on that, and the complete scope of work what needed. The Department of Transportation reviewed those, and that was how they approved the funding for this 5304. 5304 is usually something more urban, so I don't know of any other rural systems or communities in Idaho who has received this funding. But because we were proactive, we kept the bus going. We took it in-house to preserve that for the community. Both FTA and ITD were more than happy to partner and do what they could to help us out. So that's where this started last year in October when we actually took the bus system on, is FTA encouraged ITD to find that funding and use it for our system. So it took a little bit for them to work through that because they hadn't done it. But that gave us the opportunity to get all that behind us. So we have really a good data set that we can give to the contractor to move this forward, which also saves on the amount that they could have charged. KMPO paid $45,000 for theirs. So we're coming in at $19,500, and we'll have a product very similar to that. So I went back through the 5304 as well as our 5311, the funding agreements, and made sure that all of the ITD and FTA language was put into a professional services agreement. I ran this past Ben's office, and so we spiffed that all up, and they sent this back to me. I sent it off to the METS group. They had their legal go through it, and everybody agreed that this is a workable agreement between all parties. And so I just, if that works for you guys, have you guys sign it, and then we can get this moving.
I just had a question on the funding agreement, and I'm sure you have the answer. I just wanted to get it. Under number 9, it talks about state, no portion of the work will be assigned to by the subrecipient to a third party without written consent of the state. Do we have?
We're not consultants, so we're receiving funding. The contractor is not to sub it out. They have, their different parts. As I understand that, let's see. Let me make sure that I'm reading. You're looking
page 14, number
page
9.
14. Okay.
State consent required.
And I think there's a quote in that. So, my pages are stuck.
I think my question is the county the subrecipient?
No, we're the recipient.
We're the recipient, so the sub is the METS.
No, we're contracting for the METS because we're not contractors to do that.
Gotcha.
So we are hiring them to do the project.
Okay.
And can you explain again what the METS, what are they, just to the public, what
what they're doing.
What it specifically are they doing?
Scope of work.
Absolutely. So, let me read here. And that is a part of this attachment as well.
Mhm.
But what they will be doing is they do the project management. So they'll structure out everything from beginning to end on what the scope is. They'll look at GIS data. They will be doing the financial side on theirs to give us bills and invoicing. They will communicate and coordinate all of the activities that are going to happen in that, monitoring the project, going back and forth with me, getting the information, putting together. They'll do monthly invoicing. As far as the analysis and mapping, they are going to create a Silver Express map book to analyze and illustrate existing transportation, demographic, and socioeconomic drivers of existing and future transit ridership. The anticipated maps will include existing transit ridership, residential and employment density maps, future residential and employment growth, low vehicle ownership, low-income populations, senior populations, mixed-use area, block patterns, pedestrian and bicycle facilities, and composite transportation orientation map. So they're going to give heat mapping on where things are. They'll show where populations are, and so they'll overlay our system on that and kind of vet out they'll analyze what our system looks like, what that could look like with population growth. And I've seen the work that they did with the KMPO, and it's pretty impressive. They can, Post Falls was targeted for that because as they were looking at the routes and where people were riding, they could see these heat maps for future expansion and what they needed to do immediately in like the Post Falls area. So it's pretty extensive, and we do keep all of this information. So I've already started gathering the information to do this, the daily boardings for each stop, and I did that. FTA gave us a tool to kind of see that, analyze our tool financially, and so I've provided that, and I'll update that with the new full year fiscal on it. So we'll have all of this information, and that is outlined in Exhibit A in this agreement, which is the exact same thing that's in there. So,
all right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
did that answer what you needed?
Okay. Okay. I would entertain a motion if we're ready.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the agreement for professional services with METS for our Silver Express transportation.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye?
All right.
Aye.
Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and sign it and get it rolling. And
Fantastic.
okay. If there's anything further, any other questions or concerns the board have?
No.
Oh. All right. We're adjourned. Thank you.